What's up, everybody? Between the pits, live tonight. Got the little crew here. Got some special guests going. Got Rhett. I think Rhett's working on the. He's in the shop like he's sweating, working on the old beast over there.
Yeah, I'm outside.
Outside.
Curtis says he won't let me come inside till it's clean and apart.
You getting it apart. We got my man Gavin here. Kit's coming on. We got some special guests tonight on here. Some long time mud racers. I think everybody did a track. Man. Track. I guess promoter, entrepreneur,
Mr. Slime himself, man, Matt.
Driver. We got Mr.
That ain't Matt. That's Kit.
Yeah, we got Mr. Kit coming on. One of the usuals. And we got my man Matt, Mr. Bonnette here to join us up tonight.
Hey guys, how are y'all?
What's going on, Matt? How's it going, Kit?
Oh, good, man. Appreciate y'all having me on here and talk about some fun times and some ahead and in the past.
Some mud racing ahead. That's right.
Yeah, sure.
We appreciate you coming on because
man,
you're definitely a staple in the South Carolina mud scene for sure.
Oh, I don't know about that. I'm just a guy trying to have some fun.
That's right. Slinging some mud.
That's right.
Where's your better half?
Dave's in Daytona. He's supposed to be coming on here. I don't know. I talked to him about an hour ago, and he said he was trying to get everything hooked up so he could get on here tonight. So
I guess I should have said other half, not better half.
The other half. Yeah, I mean, if he's a Daytona, I'd be worried about Daytona. I won't be worried about this.
Yeah.
He's chilling in the sun.
Right.
What's up? We got CJ on here. Anybody you see, like I say, comment, you're on here. We'll give you a shout out. I can't see you, but I can see you. We got some followers going. You got David Hewlett. What's up, David?
That's right. Matt, go ahead and give us a little heads up on your new place and what you got going on, and we'll ramble and then we'll talk about it again at the end because get it off subject.
I got you. So I think as far as a lot of people knows already is, Thunder Valley was our original track in Nice's. We had kind of brought that place back from when it was a flat track. We rented it from the Fogels years ago, and did some different stuff than what they ever did there. And it was at 2019 we shut it down and decided to kind of take a break from everything. And then I ended up doing some other stuff, and then that didn't work out. So I was really done with the promoting side of it and started doing some jamboree stuff, and then ended up at our new facility in Gaston, which was the old original, Bog Wild that Dean Wheeler was part of when the original owner was part of it. Then these new people came in and bought it, and they contacted Dave and asked Dave, would he want to promote it? And Dave, of course, got in my ear, so it took him about 3 months to convince me to do it. And so we pulled the trigger, and it's the Masters Motoplex. It's in Gaston, South Carolina, right off Highway 6. And in doing that, we basically brought back the Thunder Valley logo and stuff, changed the name up just a little bit because we were at a different location. And started Thunder Alley Mudplex at the Masters Motoplex, which is a little over 600-acre property that has huge potential for a lot of different types and forms of racing that can be done, from motocross to there's probably 30 miles of trails through the woods. There's a flat track out there for rounding around motorcycles. I mean, they had Harley Davidsons out there a couple weeks ago. They're working towards some big AMA motocross stuff on that new big track that they built to the left when you're coming in the gate. I redid a bunch of the tracks out there, and they're looking at concert venue stuff and just doing just a lot of different things. And she's kind of leaning on me a little more now that we've known each other and learning the process of each other to bring some different types of stuff, in. And we got immense amounts of opportunity out there. So, we built the track. We laid all that out, and to be able to future, we all know how fast the sport's gotten and how crazy everything has gotten over the last 10 years. So we tried to think, outside the box and ahead of the game, you know, as far as safety wise and how big the track is and how much shutdown room we got and that kind of deal. So that's kind of how that all happened and my mindset along with Dave and the owners of the place and the resources that they have to be able to give us what we want and actually kind of what we need, honestly, you know, going forward years down the road, you know. So it's been there's my man.
I got him hid. I had him hid back there. He finally came up in.
I see the orange hat.
What's up, Dave?
Dave Renfroe.
Dang, he got an orange hat and orange sunglasses now.
From the world's most famous beach.
That is a busy. I mean, every time we talk to you, you somewhere besides home, ain't you?
That's right.
The future's so bright, you gotta wear shades, baby.
I hear that.
That's
no,
awesome.
like I'm saying, man, there's immense amount of opportunity out there at that place for what everything they're doing. I mean, there's
a bunch of riding, man, right? You can go riding all day on your side by side motocross. Yeah. That's something that I enjoy is watching motocross racing.
Right. And you know they're still working through some of that stuff and learning the ins and outs of how some of that stuff works, and you know they're putting the right people in the right places is kind of what they said to us. They want the right people in the right place that can handle it because they're not familiar with everything. They know how to run events and that kind of stuff. So it's pretty cool to be part of and you know be able to work with somebody that's giving us the opportunity to do something good, you know. So you know,
you got a heck of a layout. I mean, you've got a horseshoe track and you got a flat track in the middle.
Yeah, we kind of can do. We're 250 feet wide, 600 long in guardrail. Mm-hmm. So when we laid out the Orangeburg drag strip track, when that was in 2019 going into 20, I think that's 350 wide by 500 long in guardrail, I think is what it is. So, you know, that's drag strip's longer, you know, the Orangeburg Mudbog, I should say. It's a wider facility. I didn't want to go that wide just because I feel like that, you know, at that point, some of the fans lose that connection with the trucks because they're so far away from the trucks and it's hard for them to get that mud splatter on them that they like to take home with them, that feel, you know. So we did lower the track down in the ground. We actually from original grade height went down to 2.5 feet. Then all that 2.5 feet actually went back up on the bank and made it the level it's at now. So it's basically 5 foot in a hole, you know. So it's man, me and Dave we talk all the time. I mean, we talk every day about mud racing and you know where we've been and what we've seen and you know all the different avenues that mud racing has, right? You know, because there's so many different types of classes. And we just
possibilities are endless.
Right. And you just got to figure out, all right, what do you want to do? How do you want to figure out how to do it? And how do you try to appease everybody, right?
Yep.
You know,
ain't gonna happen.
That's really tough.
Yeah,
ain't happening.
No, and like
you ain't gonna please everybody.
No, and I've learned it the last probably 2 or 3 years, like 80-20 rule. If you can get 80% happy, the other 20, you try your dangest to do it, but it's just not gonna happen, right?
No, it ain't.
No, and I've beat my head against the wall at the old track trying to figure out how to do it. You can't, you know. So, you know,
don't want to jump. Some turn, some don't.
Yeah, and that's cool, man.
All you can do is mix it up, right? Kind of like you're doing. I think did you take the jump out that you had, or is it still there, or what's happening with your track?
Yeah, that kind of relates to the question I was about to have. Do you start with a clean slate?
What kind of track layout are we going with? Because you've got the flexibility to do whatever you want.
Yeah. So, were you at the first race?
I was not at the.
Okay.
Yeah, I was broken.
The first race we had the mega start back at an angle and then kind of turn into the straightaways.
Yep, I saw the video.
So the track is back laid out like that.
Okay.
So there's no hills in the pits. The only hills are in the middle of the track, and the hills, you know, is for the start line for the 1 ton of the megas. So what that enables us to do is start the DOT guys on a flat, and then, make the turn around the horseshoe, and then they're out of the way of hitting a jump.
Yeah.
So, and then I've already got the tracks actually already set up for our October race, so I don't have to remove the dirt again before October.
What date is that?
That's 13th, 14th day.
13th and 14th.
Yeah,
13th and 14th.
Yeah. So
we're looking at doing some kind of special for the DOTs probably on Friday night that would include band.
Some straight line drag mud racing.
Do what?
Some straight line bog racing. What I'm talking about.
There you go. Right.
Let's go back to some.
We're looking at a couple different things, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. Yeah. Now the unlimited guys, and I want to run everything we can run. So the unlimited guys, instead of starting up towards the turn, Gavin, like y'all did when y'all came last time, I had to put the jumps a little closer together. So we're going to actually start you on the back side of the finish line jump for the 1 tons and the megas, which is at the 300-foot mark of the track. So then we'll line out a 200-foot pit or a 200-foot lane, and then there's enough room all the way. And I'll till up all the grass or whatever, so y'all have a good flat, nice shutdown for y'all. So
we got some
that works.
Some karaoke by Dave being asked for that October race on him.
That ain't gonna happen.
Led by Dave Renfroe. Come on.
Come on, Dave.
I think that'll draw.
I gotta tell you a funny story about Gavin, though.
Okay.
I gotta tell you a funny story about Gavin. So yesterday, got up, we did a few things around, so we were headed to one of our favorite places to eat down Ponce Inlet, which is south of Daytona. Driving down A1A South, I'm in God's country, and right for whatever reason, driving down the road thinking, got that podcast tomorrow night. We gotta be ready. Gotta get all the schedule all done. Right when I thought about it, I looked to my right and I passed a store. I swear to God, the name of the store, Purple Haze. I swear it was. That's it. Yeah, that's pretty much apropos.
Yep.
That's it.
That's our kind of store. Go check them out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nah, that ain't me. I got other things to spend money on.
I see he's got the Purple Haze store, the shirt on there, right?
Yeah, right.
Representing
I can get the same high off of horsepower and oxygen.
Amen, brother. Amen. Amen. Man, I won't know if you're gonna have any bracket racing possible in the future there, Matt.
So probably at that October race, we're going to do some breakout stuff like we did at Thunder Valley back in the day on that Friday night stuff. So we'll do straight line stuff Friday night. We do probably probably the small tire DOT class on that Friday night October deal. Probably some side by side, straight line, and some probably short course stuff with some of those guys. We had some guys reach out that's come out the last couple of weeks of the track and seen it and said, man, we can do some short course racing on that. So we're trying to get some of those guys interested. They won't hit the mud holes. They'll just hit the jumps, basically, weave them in and out of the mud hole stuff. So, we're going to do a little bit of everything. That's the end of the year race for us. And, we just want it to be a good show, but, we got to get through August first.
That's right.
That's right. August is coming. It's going to be hot.
I know.
And that's a night race, ain't y'all having a little later. Y'all starting late, ain't you?
Yeah. We were
be a little cooler.
We were on a normal. Hold up. My screen went dark for a minute.
We can still see you, brother.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah, he never looked better.
So we're all our dates. We don't have lights yet, so we're trying to figure that out. So we wanted to run everything early, but just looking at the heat wise, and it was like, we got to move this.
I like the idea of what you guys are doing. And then being able to ride that day leading up to the race, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to check that place out. So
right.
Yeah. That's big travel.
You were the main one I thought of. Honest to God, it was the main one I thought of. I said there may be only one person, but it'll be Kit.
Nope. I already got some buddies coming. They're gonna check it out. So
well, good deal. Good deal. I appreciate it.
I was actually texting Matt last week about this, and he let me know. And that's why I was asking you, because I don't know about if y'all know, but Greg and Bubby kind of been working on a little something in the background. They made like a golf wheeler, It's a golf cart on a 4-wheeler frame.
Oh
And
yeah,
it's
I saw that
completely done
Twitties,
with
yeah.
paddle shifters and everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
they had it at Twitties, so
yeah.
they want to come check it out.
I
So
got the same idea, so I went and bought me
contraption
old.
out there.
I got the
Right.
same
Don't think
idea,
better-
but I didn't
Better
work
bring
with
that Jeep, right, Matt?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd love
hey,
to see that Jeep.
it. Bring it out.
Where's that Jeep at? That Jeep ain't broken half yet. Bring it on.
That might be why, because you ain't driving it, Rick.
Hey, I'll break it in half for them if they ain't gonna do it.
they might be worried about it breaking in half. I think is the problem.
I hope not. I remember the first time I saw that Jeep was at Mid-State. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, had the square tube headers on it with the little clappers on the top of it.
Yeah, the square
Yeah.
tube header. That's right. I
Remember
forgot about
that?
Yeah,
That
that's
was like
right.
Mid-State. I don't know if that was the first or the second final race they had, but it was in that last year, I think, when they were racing up there at Nick and them's place.
Yep. That's one thing I always remember, man.
My man,
First people to come talk to us
Yeah.
when
Who
we
was?
you.
Was
my
I
main
really?
remembrance of that Jeep was where
Thank you. What was that?
we ran in Tennessee with that
With Mega Truck Series.
other series that Nick was involved in. The what?
Was that with the Mega Truck Series?
The 1-ton elite.
Oh, y'all
One
was
ton.
on the lead.
No. So we got it right. The 1-ton elite series, and I think y'all finished second or something like that in that Jeep. Hell, you may have won it. I don't know.
think
but
we were
I know y'all
second.
did good. And that was.
I think they done froze. Come on.
There wasn't a whole lot of people there, but we sure had a good time.
Oh yeah.
And that was when I really got to know
That was an AOP.
Yes, it was.
That was an AOP, yeah.
Yep. Yep.
It's fun to travel, man. That's what some people that if you don't travel, man, get out and travel because
Yeah.
you get
some other
have fun
trails.
the traveling.
guys that you don't see and
I
you
love
see them
the
in
travel.
different places and you become close.
Brett, you hit it. And
That's what I like to do.
that is easier said than done. And they're sitting at home right now. I can't afford to go travel. I can't go here and I can't go there. I get it. I totally.
Oh yeah.
If I didn't learn one thing from Russell Twitty, I looked there and I saw all them people come northeast down to the city for that November race.
Yep.
And I promise you, I was in New York 2 weeks ago. And when I got there, it's a different deal being on their turf. And they know that you traveled to come up to see them. And I was up there to work, but if you can do it, you need to do it. You need to travel and go see, because that's if you're affiliated with a track, it's going to give you benefits.
Yeah,
Yep.
no doubt.
I mean, we try somewhere different every year, somewhere new every year. So
They remember the outsiders too.
So
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
They remember you.
Yeah. I mean, we had tons of fun going and racing all those races. I mean, there was 3 years we were running 30 shows a year, just
Wow.
and I'm like, I look back at it now, I'm like, how in the world did we do that? And like the time and the efforts and like when it's 5 o'clock, I want to leave my shop now. But before I'd stay here 10, 11 o'clock at night, bashing on my stuff just to go racing the weekend.
Drive,
I'm not like that now.
Nah.
My mindset has changed a bit. The truck's ready to go, I'll go, I'll make it work for my track, of course, but I'm not gonna beat my head against the wall anymore. Them days are done. So
Right.
We were involved
30
in
races a year will wear you down.
and it was probably
Get old quick.
3 or 4 years like that.
Yeah.
And then I think about all the stuff that like I kind of put on the back burner, and I'm like, hey, did I really do that? But I did. So.
I get told that all the time. All right, and mud racing ain't always no one. You got to remember that. Believe me.
Fran would tell me you burn the candle at both ends. It ain't worth this.
It ain't always no one.
That's the reason why I'm in Daytona Beach.
That's right.
I got to get away. Get away. Although I come down here and what I do, I'm catching up on racing.
Yep.
You doing some racing down there, Dave? What y'all got going on? Y'all just on a little
do it once a month,
Yeah.
I like to do some. We could doing a little. Our traveling this year is going to be some grudge racing traveling. I'm gonna miss match race. I'll hate it, but it's a little deal we got going on. We trying out a business venture, I guess you can say.
I got you.
But I still, it's still probably be a summer's mud racing truck at the track, but it won't be the purple one.
I got you. Well, that's
Hopefully
all right. So
this little black Toyota I'm looking at over here will be there with little English in it. I hope.
Oh, y'all got that one finished?
I got to put the converter back in it, but it should be ready to rock.
Well, good. Well, cool deal.
It'll be there.
Yeah.
Given all it's got.
Right.
He's half, so it won't be there.
Hey, so Matt, since I got you on here, we ask all the other people is you didn't start off with a V-tread green truck, did you?
No, I didn't. I actually, when I got into this mess, I'm just a fan. I was just going to the races, and I didn't like Dave was announcing places, and I didn't know who Dave was, and like seeing some of the conversation y'all had with Dave a couple weeks ago. Like I was at races that I think Kit you were at and Rhett you were at when down there at
Ridgeville
and all that stuff, you know.
Oh,
but back then I was not hanging around the trucks. I was sitting there drinking beer and you're just having a good time, you know. I didn't get into 2000 had to be 2000 or so. Thunder Valley flat track. I had a Toyota with a small block on 10 bolt, 12 bolt instead of 35 or 38s on it.
Did you say a Toyota with a small block in it?
I did.
I know you didn't say that.
I did say that.
Oh, man, that's hard to believe.
Yeah. It was
what everybody good at.
It was a white Toyota, and then we spray painted orange flames on the front of it, and I called it the Carolina Headhunter. So that was the first truck that we had built. I would drive my daily to the track with my mud tires on it because I had a 96 Z71 lift on 38s. That's what it was. And I would have the truck on the back of the trailer, a borrowed trailer with a pair of like slicks on it, you know, just whatever I could find to put on it. I dragged it to the mud. I changed tires off my daily, put them on the Toyota, and I go out there and race it. In the old class, it was the compact class, Dave. I would run it in that class against like Blue for You and those guys that ran. Dave, are you with us? I think his phone computer.
He might
be.
He's listening.
Yeah. So we ran in that class probably 3 or 4 times, and I did that maybe every a year and a half or so, and then I took it. I was living with my mom and dad in Lugoff. Took it back there, and I took it to a buddy's house, and I hated the truck. And I was like, you know what? This ain't what I want to do. So I didn't have jacks or anything. I was playing in the dirt. So we actually took the truck and laid it over on the side after I pulled the motor and the tranny out of it. And that's how we laid the axles out of it because I didn't have nothing to pick it up with. And I had a backhoe at the house from work. It was a mess. It was just a disaster, you know. But I was 20 or 21 or whatever. I'm 44? Yeah, 44 now. So just goofy back then. And then I bought a 2-wheel drive S10 from a guy. And that's when I started. I put the 10 bolt, 12 bolt under it, put a small block. I did a TBI on it because I thought I wanted to go fuel injection out of like an old like Camaro or whatever, like from the late 80s. I had everything hooked in it, never hooked it up. And then I moved to Nashville with work. So the truck sat at my house where I lived at. And then I went back and picked it up, took it to Nashville because I was hanging out with some of the guys from Essentially Off-Road, and they were doing the rock bounce and stuff up there before they started doing the bounce. It was just a crawling then in like 2005 or 6. And that's when I started seeing the big Heim joints and the big bars and all the stuff and the articulation stuff they were doing up there. But then I decided to came home, and then that's when I started noticing the trucks going wild stuff and the V-tread mess and all that stuff. And by that point, I had done put 44s on those 10 bolt, 12 bolts. And of course, the first time out, they broke, and I was like, I am not dealing with this crap. So I bought my first set of 2.5 tons from Wesley Smoke and took the truck over to his place. And that was in 2007. And we built the first little cradle on a set of 2 F-250 springs and still had those 44. So I cut the centers out, put 6 lug in it for the 2.5 tons. And I think the first time out with the truck was BT. I want to say it was at y'all's place when it was
just one whole
Hunt Club.
That's right.
I think that was the first place we ever took that truck. And then, of course, the 44s went away. I bought a set of 18 426 and then put on there. Did not have enough motor for them. Didn't have enough gear. I mean, we were 2.5 ton box from a 205 out the transmission to a 205. So we had like stupid gearing ranges we could go. We were just pond bogging back then. You know, we weren't racing or doing anything stupid like we're doing now. But 18 426s, and it was a tall truck. It was just a bog hole truck. It was nothing. It had tractor heim joints in it. You know, it was just a pile of crap. But we were having fun, right? So we started doing that, and then we ended up at Mid-State and just kind of back and forth with all that mess. So
wasn't it that was it Josh or whatever that had the little place they played at in Pinewood?
Pine Hill? So Josh,
Pine Hill.
Yeah, so Josh is my first cousin.
That's right.
Or second cousin, actually. Second cousin. So he had the white S10 with the black racing stripes on it. And Josh was the first one around here that had a truck on 2.5s in our area, Orangeburg kind of spot.
Yeah.
With tractor. Originally, that truck was 10-bolt, 12-bolt truck with 38s and a 321 with a 327 with like a supercharger on it. And it was just a cool truck. He drove it to work every day.
To work, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, and then he wanted. They saw the tractor tire thing, and the truck's going wild stuff. Him and Wesley, so they built the truck and 18 4s on it, and then man, it was 06 or 07. It was one of those. I was still in Nashville because I drove home because Josh had the Pine Hill Pandemonium behind his house, and he called me and he's like, "Man, you got to come home for this." And I come home, and Lord have mercy, that little hole back there, like behind his house. I bet it ain't but 5 or 6 acres back in there, and it's it's a low line area, black mud. It's just a cool little place. And I bet there was 400 or 500 people back in there stuffed in that hole.
The cheese puff was back there at that time, but it was camouflage.
What was?
The cheese puff.
Really?
But it was camouflage with a 6-cylinder in it. Yes,
that was when you first got it.
Yep.
It wasn't stuck, right? It was just driving around.
It probably was stuck. Yeah, it was just having there.
Yeah, that was a nasty little mud hole, and Josh had pulled a bunch of timber out of there, so there was big old like holes, you know, where he had pulled the trees out. And Pat Simmons from over in Sandy Run, he had his white Dodge over there, and then Josh had his S10, I think. I don't remember if Wesley had his Blazer finished in or not, but he might have been there. Man, I saw a guy take a brand new Ford F-150 and just buried it. Like it was like, I think he had it for like 2 days, and he just tried to go across that mud hole and he just sunk it to the bottom. There's a lot of cool stuff that weekend. So good times, man. Good times.
That's where it's all started at. Everybody started from there.
Yeah.
That's how it all started.
That's right. And then we just get carried away with all of it, and so
end up with what we got.
Yeah, I can remember when Twitty and Mitchell put their Twitty had the brown truck, and he had 1-ton axles and put 14.9s on it, and then Mitchell had the King Cobra truck.
Yeah, the King Cobra. I forgot about that truck. The King Cobra.
Yeah, and that's a factory truck.
Yeah,
you know, from what I understood. I mean, they put the 14.9s on them, and then it was me and Wesley and Josh. We'd all go to Mid-State. I think y'all touched a little bit on this when Dave was on here. Like, they didn't have a class for us. You know, they were like, it was like, we don't have a class. You got, it's an unlimited truck. So we're running like Keith Boatwright in the Jeep, and Jason he brought Hot Shot up there, original Hot Shot. And then, Jimmy had their stuff and like running against those guys. And I'm like, we didn't care. We were just trying to make it through Mid-State Mud Bog at that point. It was just a deep mud hole that nobody could seemingly conquer. So for us back then, it was just we didn't care. And Nick said, "You get me 7 trucks, I'll make you a class." And it took forever, but we did it, and that was cool times, man. It's like because I didn't go there to try to beat Twitty or Josh or Wesley or what. I just wanted to like see how far I could go in that mud hole that would just engulf your truck.
That was a nasty hole. The one on the left side, I guess you'd say.
The tower side, yeah.
That was
The
a
tower
nasty
side
hole.
was the one.
Yeah, spent a lot of money trying to come out that mud hole, but I did it on the 10th year, I think is what it was.
Conquered it finally.
Oh yeah.
We won that grudge race with the orange truck that time. They had that money on that. What was it? That gray Toyota, I think.
On JP's truck.
Yeah, JP. That's right.
Yeah. I remember they put that bounty on JP down there.
That was a nasty hole, man. That left. It was.
Yeah.
They used to have some crowds there too, Bubba. Okay.
Right. They sure did. Nothing but a chicken farm now.
That's what they say. Chicken farming.
Oh. Yep. Three houses, I believe. I hadn't even been back down there.
Yeah. Me neither.
3 big houses.
Yeah.
So y'all's race y'all got coming up in what, a week, 2 weeks? Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's gonna be no hills, horseshoe.
Yep. We'll do. It'll be for DOTs. It's horseshoe, no hills, combined times, 2 passes, and then we'll do 2 at a time on 1 tons and megas. Unlimited guys will go straight like we talked earlier, 200-foot pit or track. And then depending on, I might run street after the second DOT class, depending on how the mud hole looks. And then, because if it gets too bad, I don't want the megas or the 1 tons to mess it up for the street guys. And then after that's all said and done, we're going to do the tri-truck challenge because we decided to.
That'll be cool.
What is William talking about?
I think he's talking about the chicken farms at Mid-State. I'm hoping.
Oh, I got you. That's probably right. That's probably right.
That's what we're gonna go with anyway.
Yeah, he stopped everything he was saying.
Right.
So, what is break the tri-truck challenge down?
All right. So it's 3 trucks. It's a DOT truck. It doesn't matter which kind. Whether big tire or small tire, doesn't matter. A 1-ton truck and a mega truck, and they're all on the track at the same time.
Same time.
Event.
It's kind of like a relay for if you're running track.
The last time we did this was at Thunder Valley.
Yeah,
right?
I thought we did that one time before.
So how does it go?
So, the first time we ever did it, the track was still narrow, so we could not do all the trucks at the same time. We did 1 at a time, and then we combined the times together when we did our team thing. So then once we made the track wider, we were able to set the trucks, and then they would leave once the other truck got to a certain spot. So that's how it works. We'll set the DOT guy. Basically, the DOT guy will make a horseshoe. As soon as that, and then the 1 ton and the mega will be sitting there in their lanes. Excuse me. And as soon as that DOT guy, because he's going to start your timer. When he comes out in the mud hole, then the 1 ton guy is going to take off. Once he gets to a certain spot on the track, then your mega guy will take off. 1 ton guy comes across the hill, the mega guy comes back around, and he hits the hill, and then the timers will be at the bottom of the jump, and the mega guy will cross the finish line time.
Yeah.
When's this race?
Fastest team wins.
I like that.
It's a hat draw. It's like so.
You draw your team.
Yeah.
You draw your teams.
Oh, they went
draw
red.
your team. I'm sorry, I gotta.
And when's that race?
Say that again.
And when you gonna run that in October?
August 5th.
Oh, this weekend. Your next race. Okay, I got you.
Yep, that'll be running the next race. So what we
it puts a lot of pressure on various team members because you do not want to be the weak link. And we've had people. No, I'm serious. We've had people that would be on the team and look around who they are, and that brings the competitive nature out. You don't want to be the weak link.
Yeah,
and you can't stack a team too with the drawing at the hat. That's
and
we
had thought about doing it where you could make your own team.
But then they'll stack them.
Yeah, but the problem with that is, and that's just, and maybe it's me thinking or whatever, but I think once you stack a team, like it creates animosity somewhat and can create a divide.
Yeah.
So why not make it where we pull it out of the hat and then
random team
somebody
members.
that doesn't know me or somebody that doesn't know you, you might form that friendship.
Get a chance to know each other now.
Yeah, get a chance to know each other. And like I said in the video that we put out the other day, it's like I may look at that track a lot different than you may look at that track and how to navigate it and how to run it, So if I'm over there and I see a different line, I say, look, man, you do what you want to do, but that line there looks good, and you come into that turn a little bit tighter here and hug that line, and you can pick up some time, And I learned that going to racing with Scott Sweat and David Tyson and all those guys who were racing SMO stuff. So, they would show me that stuff, and I picked up time doing it. So why not let those guys, mingle and learn each other, and it just helps them in the long run, the way I see it. And I may be wrong on that, but that's just kind of the way I see it.
I mean, I like to draw from the hat because, matter of fact, at the last race at Tyndall, Blaine's got $100 a mile. Well, I won the team challenge with the red truck, and they and I was the slowest one in the whole damn bunch. But I had a good team. Right. Somehow they draw me a good team. But,
that's right. That's right.
They won it for you.
Yeah.
Yep. And even if, like, whoever you draw, if you got a weaker truck, that's not going to do nothing but push me to drive my truck harder. Like I have to assume the consequences of driving my truck harder.
That's right.
But it's going to say, all right, I got to make up time for this guy. That makes sense.
Yeah, I think it makes it pretty good.
And the good part about it is we don't know yet, but we may have ringers coming from out of state. And so that kind of spreads the wealth around. They don't all get put on one team. So that kind of increases the sport.
Get to know people you would have never met before.
And
it's a heck of something to watch.
It works out pretty good.
Yeah. It's cool.
It is.
You've never seen it. Last time we did it was what? I guess 2019 at Thunder Valley.
Thunder Valley, yeah, that was.
And we did it the same way we're going to do it this time,
Thunder
right?
Valley,
yeah, a little bit different. I got a couple little things up my sleeve to kind of help. We learn something every time we run one, right? So like, we had a flagger, and that flagger was supposed to flag when they got to a certain spot. But sometimes that didn't happen, so we got some stuff in place to try to make it better where they relieve when they're supposed to. Because I'd love to make it where they left all at the same time. That would just be cool. But I haven't figured out safety-wise.
Yeah, that could be a little wild.
So
that flagger costs you some races. You got to watch it, ain't it, Red?
Yep, it can.
What was that?
I said,
he's talking about me. He's talking about me. He thinks I cost it. He wasn't ready. He was talking to the guy for some reason. Get them people out your window when you're grudge racing, right?
Hey, that was the man that was lining me up, man. I had to watch him.
I don't even know who that guy was. Who was that guy?
He had a staff shirt on, is all I can tell you.
Yeah. I need to get me one of them. I'll go around the track and mess with people. Yeah.
He had a staff shirt on. I don't know who he was.
Sleeping at the light.
Right.
Damn.
Yeah, I remember the time talking about staff. So we would always have a problem when we were pulling the cable at Thunder Valley of like not knowing where the guy stopped or like if the cable's even moving.
Yeah.
And Gene Peel, he was always my start line guy. And then when we ran it in the very beginning, we were having to pull guys out. He would always be the guy that kind of waved the truck off. Well, of course, nobody ever sees the guy trying to stop you, and he don't stop anyway. So we gave Gene a red flag. They were like, if that truck stops, you wave that red flag, and they'll see the red flag, so they'll stop.
Oh God!
Holy crap! That was the worst thing I've ever done to anybody, because there was people booing Gene from the stands.
Oh,
Stop, but they were like, "He's still going. He's still going. Why are you?" I mean, they were just giving him.
oh no!
That was not good.
Instant bad guy.
He says, if you want me to help you ever again, I'm not picking up that red flag. I said, I'm with you. Don't mess with that.
He became the bad guy.
Yeah. Hey, I'm sorry.
Staff story I got. So
that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Well, all right, so y'all got all right, so some people, they're doing the grudge race on August 5th, right? All right. And then I believe Blaine
the weekend
is
after
August
match,
12th
right?
at Timber Farms. And either the 19th or somewhere in there, I think, is Tony's next race.
25th,
26.
I believe the 26th.
Yeah.
26?
26.
I think it's 26.
And we're also
I wasn't sure.
we have a
I thought that's what it was. I didn't know.
Little Do is the 26th too. That's the
Yeah, we
next
got
series.
a torch race.
Our series race is the 26th.
Yeah,
Little Dude's on the 26th.
unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
And the little grudge race, we ain't drawing no trucks. It's just we taking, I think 3 fellas is going.
Yep.
We just going just to.
is that
Pretty
little
much
Stanley
like-
County Fairgrounds or whatever?
It's
Yep,
some
yep.
Albemarle somewhere.
Carolina Grudge deal?
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty much BT and
out.
Steve and Gavin, pretty much.
Pick up a new
I
spot
got you. That'd be
counselor,
cool.
maybe.
We just trying to do a little venturing out. They might come want to race us or something, trying to work up a little
Nothing wrong
deal
with
there.
that. That'd be cool. And then your BT, y'all's next one is in September.
The 9th,
Nine,
second weekend in
nine.
September.
Yeah, right.
9-9.
Okay.
And that's going to be heads up in all classes, so
That's
that'll be
gonna be
pretty cool.
heads up.
On
Leave
the
off
flat
the
track
tree,
with mud,
So that'll
right?
be
the muddy flat track. Yeah.
On the
Leave
muddy
off the
flat
light.
track.
On the light.
that'll be September the 9th, and then Twitty's is the next weekend.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. For Ronald McDonald race.
That's right.
Good Lord.
That's
we got
Friday.
another
Man,
one
that's a
in
heck
South
of a
Carolina,
run
everybody in the
coming up.
country.
Dude, every
That's
month is a heck of a run.
They keep getting longer and longer.
Yeah.
There's a marathon now.
That's a lot of racing. It's a lot of racing,
Yep.
especially
And then
locally. So
Hopefully everybody-
We talked to one guy that's got a 1 ton. I'm not gonna say his name, but he said, and he's from Virginia,
yeah.
and he said, it's better for me to leave the state of Virginia, drive to South Carolina, and race than it is better for me to do anything in my state.
Wow.
And I said, holy crap. And he laid it all out. Me and David.
And here's the good part. A lot of that has to do with the competition and the people.
Right.
Yeah.
Nothing against Virginia. I love
Right.
the state of Virginia.
Yep.
I love Virginia.
Yeah.
One of my biggest regrets was I didn't go to Virginia earlier than what I did. But this guy enjoys coming to South Carolina to run.
Sure does.
Yep.
Where the
We,
epicenter.
we enjoy them coming down, That's
Right.
somewhere that I haven't gone yet, and
Yeah,
we'll
me
eventually
neither.
go.
We have to put down the bucket list next year, Ed.
I'll tell you what, my real bucket list is where they were just at a few weeks ago, and Matt knows what I'm talking about. The Jamboree.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I want to do that. Now I got a way to get my
Man.
truck there. That is on the list.
I don't even know what's happening next year, but
We going.
I
Brad.
think we could put together one heck of a invitational, I would call it.
So
I think you could draw up trucks to do an invitational and draw some bad boys.
yeah.
I know
So here's
from
what you
from
got to
our
think about with the Jamboree stuff. So and this is just something you got to keep in your mind. So it's not
Mhm.
something like we normally do. The track is not perfect. It's
Yep.
dug in the infield of a fairgrounds, and there's rock up there in Pennsylvania, all that kind of stuff, right? It's
Mhm.
it's a 150-foot mud hole in Pennsylvania, 250-foot mud holes. And usually they're full of water, and then they try to mix them in the best as they can. They just pile a bunch of water into them to keep them where they don't dry out, right?
Yep.
So it's 150 foot is all it is. And they pay good money. Dave, you probably know the money range more than I do.
Well, it was
Probably go over there and show them
15.5
something they never really seen
Vegas, and
before.
it was 11. It's either $1,000 or $1,100 for I think it's about and that was class
2
through 5.
class
2
5,
through 5
right?
or 6.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
it was good money.
They run the old NMRO rules, is what they run.
And you can run multiple classes.
Yeah, so you can run, I swear, 3 or 4 classes with y'all style of trucks.
Yeah.
You know? So,
awesome.
And then like they have a class 5 and 6. I think 5 is under 3,500 pounds, and class 6 is above.
And then 6 is over.
Is over. So, and it's run what you brung.
Damn. Okay.
In a mud hole.
Tires,
So, like,
whatever.
I could
It
run,
doesn't matter.
even though I'm over 3,500 pounds with my mega truck, I can run class 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm at a disadvantage. But then I can also run class 6.
He could run it. I don't know what
Gavin.
Gavin weighs, but I'm assuming it's over 35. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'd say
Let me ask you, which one's better to go to, Indy or Pennsylvania? Which one's closer?
Closer?
Yeah, which one's closer?
The alley.
Yeah, that's right. The alley. Bloomsburg's closer. It's what, 9.5 or 10 hours to Bloomsburg, Dave, and I think Indy's about 13 or 14.
Oh, okay.
So when we go to Indy, me and Dave fly to Indy. I'm not driving Indy. So
you get someone drives the truck up there?
There is nothing.
I don't race my truck with the Jamboree anymore.
Oh, okay.
No, whenever they ask me to be a race director, I said, look, if I'm going to do that, I've got to take myself out the seat on this stage. Yeah. It's not worth me jeopardizing or making a decision in my truck because then, somebody might think, oh, it's beneficial to Matt or whatever. So it's just best that I just race direct and I open up that spot for somebody else to come in and race.
Makes sense.
So, no need to try to create drama when there's no point in it. So, it's a whole lot. And trying and that race, because it's like you have an hour time slot to get what you got to get done. It's not, you can't drag your feet. You got to go because they got everything's planned out. Right.
That was my.
So like, if you finish up early, like you're fine, finish up early.
How do I?
If you go to get to that 1 hour mark and you still got 4 or 5 trucks to go, and you know it's going to take 30 minutes, boss man's in your ear. Hey, we got to go. I got this plan. We got to go. We got to move all this stuff and get it over here to this next deal. So it's
people want to show, right?
Yeah.
Like same thing, like running, like when you run Thunder Alley, sometimes you'll be, let's go, guys, let's go. And it's not that you're trying to be a butthole. You just trying to keep the show running. And because the people
I've been there before.
People get mad.
If they sit around for too long, they start leaving.
Yes. I don't
start leaving.
And I don't know
arguments. They like arguing.
Shit.
Yep, they start getting arguments with each other.
Stream, but
I don't know why I'm built the way I'm built, but I don't like downtime at all. Like I hate like zero downtime. Like it drives me like bonkers. Like I lose my shit.
It's bad for business.
And I don't mean anything by it. Like I don't mean to come off and sound like a peckerhead sometimes. It's just like, come on, we got to go, And then it's even worse at the new track because we don't have lights, and like I have some light towers out there, but trying to stay within budget and not cost the track a bunch of money when you're trying to build it and save some money for the next race and whatever is like I can say we got 5 light towers out there and I rented 3 or 4, so we got that number. And I'm trying to like if I turn these things on, then I got diesel fuel and I got hour meters and all this mess and like the race we doing on the 5th, I know what light tails I got to run, so I know what that budget's got to be. I know how much diesel fuel they're going to burn and whatever. So I had to put that in the budget to make it all work, right? But like when we don't know, we just got them sitting there just in case. But I'd rather not turn them on. So I remember we were saying, all right, we got to go. I got 2 hours before it gets dark, and you can see the sun going down. And it's like some of it's probably just me, and I probably overthink a lot of things. But that's just kind of the way I'm wired and the way I'm built. And I don't
trying to keep the show going, man.
Hey,
is for those 4 hours or so that you have those people's attention, you want to show them as much as you can.
Right.
It's like some of the people, they don't realize they're trying to push. So some of these younger kids can see these mega trucks and stuff run at night before they go to bed, because sometimes we'll run those bigger classes at 10 o'clock at night, and those kids want to see them at 7 o'clock. They want to see them.
Yep. And I
tell you what's cool. Can y'all hear me all right?
Yeah.
My mic keeps muting too, Dave. I don't know why. I keep having to.
You keep echoing. I don't know if somebody's watching the red or whatever.
Talking about the jamboree thing. When y'all were talking about the jamboree, here's the cool part, and I mean this sincerely. What's really cool is to go to Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, or go to Indianapolis, Indiana, and see all these guys bring all these trucks, and we're sitting there from South Carolina, and we know for a fact that we've got guys at home that can not only run with those guys, but they can outrun those guys. That's the truth. That's
awesome.
Mike, we're gonna bring the ruckus next year. I think I kept saying that's gonna be like the bucket list when we get a new truck. And
I'd love the convoy up there and bring however many trucks you got, bring from up there.
That would be awesome.
Yep. Because you can run. You could run Friday. You could run Saturday. Because you run 2 classes on Friday, 2 classes on Saturday. Then you get to watch, the Mars Truck Show, the Mega Truck Show, the Tough Trucks now, the Resilient Trucks. They're running side by sides on short course stuff. So there's a ton of infield action that they're doing, and they're talking about even bringing some more stuff.
Dang.
And kid, you like this. They even have an indoor RC track.
Nice.
That you can go be part of too. So
awesome.
And a truck show and all kind of vendors and
all kind of cool stuff that's going on. I mean,
I went to them as
the jamboree experience is incredible.
Yeah.
And I know all y'all grew up watching that too, like me, watching the Pin to Point series.
Except this past Sunday,
all that,
Yeah.
I remember back in the day reading the Peterson magazines in middle school and high school, coming up, and it was all jamboree stuff towards when they got ready for all that. I'm just in awe, like, oh my God, before these things, these computers where you can look at it in the YouTubes and snap tweets and all that mess.
Tilt beds, tilt hoods, chrome.
What was the 4-wheel drive magazine? What Mud Life or whatever it was?
Yeah, it was a Mud Life magazine.
Mud Life magazine, yeah.
Back in the early 2000s.
4-wheeler.
Yeah, and
there's people on here that's probably watching this right now going, magazines? Y'all also keep up with trucks on
That's
magazines?
right.
Man, I still go buy magazines to this day. If I'm going to take a flight or something, I grab like a 4-wheeler to 4-wheeling off-road or diesel power or something. I still like to go and look through the pages and read it that way versus my phone.
Right.
That's like Sean Keaton's daughter told me.
Indiana.
Go ahead, Nick.
The sole reason. See, that's it.
The only reason is jamboree.
That's
it.
Zach said we all old.
When it was at Marion County Fairgrounds.
I remember when Zach Keys was running around with Mid-State with his back of his ears still
We
wet.
got to see the cool trucks, and we still
The
get to see
Blazer.
the cool trucks too. We got the best.
That's
right.
Hey Zach, Matt, you remember Zach you remember you had the shootout race?
Yep.
And Zach on the 3 tires
Yep.
in the blue Blazer? And I had the black Blazer.
That was hold on now. Was that the shootout race or that was a tri-truck challenge, wasn't it?
That might have been a tri-truck challenge that time.
I think it was a tri-truck.
No, that was
He
a
in the middle.
tri-truck challenge.
But let's talk about that
Steve
shootout.
Wright was on his team.
That shootout was fun. Hell, that's been
We
that was
did
wild.
that the second year of Thunder Valley.
Yeah.
And that was my cousin Jay was helping me then at the track. So we had drawn that whole bracket out. And that was a double elimination deal.
Yep.
I stood on top of a 66 tire and arm dropped everybody. And people were talking about like the pits, they weren't
equal, yeah.
You know, and I'm like, look, we did the best we can. This is, you know, we're doing what we can. It's something different. You know, nobody had ever really done it in a mud hole. But I remember Nick Schilling made a pass in his, I don't know if it was a Samurai or that little jalopy rusted up thing.
Yeah, right.
But he was like 2/10 difference from pit to pit. Because we still had the timer set out, you know. And
pretty close.
Everything was based off the timers. The only reason I was standing up there arm dropping everybody was just for the show, you know.
Yeah.
So they would try to leave at the same time. But man, I remember guys saying, "Man, I done run my truck 10 times, just running high." I was like, yeah, I know. I was like, but this is what we signed up for. We got to get through it, right?
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
It was fun. I remember that was a good time. And like, I can't remember,
but y'all remember I was telling y'all about competition bringing out the best in you. That team, Matt, what was the guy with the huge Dodge?
Clifford. That was Clifford when he had the heavy Chevy
truck. Put
truck.
it on the side. You built the truck. Clifford was on the team. Clifford was on the team. Zach Keyser was on the team, and Keith Boatwright was on the team.
Dang.
Zach Keyser said there was no way in the world he was going to let down Keith Boatwright. And when that tire come off, he didn't let out of nothing. He had the foot in the radiator.
He was on it.
Busted Knuckles. Matt Merritt was at the track that weekend with Busted Knuckles, and he's got the film of it. And to this day, like once a year, I still see it pop up across the web and see it. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So, but he never let out. I said, Zach, what'd you break? He said, all the lug nuts just fell off. I said, how does a lug nut fall? He said, well, I didn't have but 3 of them on it. They just loosened up.
Oh,
that was the Rest in Peace truck, wasn't it?
That's right.
Yep.
Which was originally
that was the Blazer that Boatwright used to ride.
Right. That was Boatwright's old Blazer.
Yeah. Good times back in the younger days, huh?
It's fun to do something different, you know. That's what I keep telling these guys. Keep switching it up. Let's keep it fresh, you know.
That's what
you got to think out the box, you know. Sometimes and like I try to think about like what's something stupid, crazy I want to see. You know?
That's right.
And sometimes like me and Dave will go back and forth and say, "Hey, what do you think about this?" I'm like, I don't know. Then we go back to it a couple weeks later, or whatever. And just like, what can we do to make the fans happy where they want to come in the track? That's what promoters are supposed to do across the board. Anybody, right?
They want to see.
Yeah.
Like Monday night.
What happened Monday night?
We'll probably find out later, but I promise you, it was nuts.
Okay.
All right.
You lost me. Okay.
Dave had a moment.
I don't know how to take that.
Hey guys, I gotta sign off here tonight. It's good catching up with y'all.
We're still working.
I'm gonna be listening in, but I gotta get off the live stream. So.
Good seeing you, kid.
Dave, I'll see y'all in the alley.
Get that T case, kid. It's time for the drop.
Get it Friday night or Saturday, whatever Johnny Martin says. I'm gonna figure it out.
There we go.
You ready to race?
Yes, sir.
That's
hold it down.
Y'all be good.
Talking about like different stuff. That's why I think this little list deal we come up with. I think that's going to be interesting and fun. Something different.
And it sounds like we might be able to get into some of that. Maybe Matt's October night race or whatever, that Friday night maybe, if he's down. Let a couple of us that are challenging each other line up and race.
Yeah, 100%.
Be good.
David, he looks ready. He wants a piece of that little Rebel so bad he can taste it.
I mean, I don't know why they want to pick on the little fella for.
Yeah.
But
I'm hoping to have
be careful what you ask for. That's all I can tell you. What do you say, Matt?
Do you realize the first time that I ever did a horseshoe pass was at y'all's place?
I didn't know that, but I remember you doing them. Because I remember you like we'd only have one track tire truck.
Right.
And it'd be you and just whatever you want to do, make the horseshoe, whatever.
Yeah. And I think it was Shecky, or it might have been Terry said, "What do you want to do?" I said, "Go in there and put me a cone."
That's right.
At the end of the track, and I'll go in and turn and come back. And somebody said, "We got enough shutdown room for that?" I was like, "I can get stopped. It'll be all right."
Oh, yeah.
And the truck, for what we had back then, I mean, I think I was still a small block.
Yeah.
I don't think I had gone to big block even yet, because we were having problems with the carburetor.
That May race, was it?
It might have been.
May have been. I'm not sure. But I was having problems with the carburetor, and doggone it, Woodcock.
Bruce.
No, not Bruce.
Scott.
Yeah, Bruce and Scott and Bruce were on the way down there as well with Bob, and I think they were just going to watch or whatever. And I called Scott because Scott had worked on my Duramax that I'd had a couple weeks before that. And I said, "Scott, I got something going on in my car. I can't get the flow right." He said, I'm coming right back. I'll come by the shop. So he pulled in here, and we tweaked on the carburetor a little bit that morning and got out there, and it was still acting a little stupid. And then he got it better for me, and then we made that lick. So, yeah, because I remember making a turn. I think my mom still has it on her iPad, that video. And I hit the big hole from the backside, and you can hear the trucks on the chip when I hit the mud hole.
Rolling.
And there was so much water that the water like fanned out in front of the truck and just went everywhere. And at that point, I was like, yeah, that was so much fun. I was hooked at turning at that point. I was like, yep, that's what I got to do. I got to turn.
Oh.
Got to turn. Some of y'all like the turning. I ain't figured it out.
Yeah, sure.
Hey,
I like it.
I'm good.
Yeah.
You did all right.
I like the little bit
You
of
did all right
jumping.
with that Tweeties.
Yeah, I'm figuring it out, Dave. I'm figuring it out. It's just
We're training him.
But you
did
run
good
a
on the
rack,
second
don't
one.
you?
the red truck's power steering, the purple truck's got a rack in it. That rack's a little different. It's
right.
We'll figure
It's
it
weird
out.
because like ours being full hydraulic, and as fast as we go, like I got little windows in the side of my firewall, like a monster truck does, so I can kind of see the tires. But of course, as soon as they get muddy, you can't see anything anyway, right?
Yeah.
But I use them when I line up, and then when I go through a turn, I sometimes can see out of spots, so I kind of just look down. But I drive more with my behind in the seat like a forklift than I do with the steering wheel because I feel it in my seat. You know what I mean, from the back end. So like, and that's how I drive. I feel it all with the back end of the truck, and you just feel it moving around.
Man, I'll be honest with you. I lose. All I see is straight ahead, and I let go of that button.
Right.
I feel it come out the other end. I don't know what the hell happens from one point to the other point.
Sure.
Once
I just
get
try to
out,
treat it like
I
a
don't know.
I've had people ask me, "How do you drive that thing?" I say, "With my eyes closed."
That's how William McCarn drives.
Right.
You see pictures of him, he's got his eyes closed all the time. I'm like, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's something we were racing. Shaking him kept asking me a while back, what's the tack doing? What's the tack doing? I said, well, I don't have no clue. I can't see it.
No idea.
Oh, we got to see. Well, he drove the truck. I said, Shaky, what's the tack doing? Hell, I don't know. I was trying to see where I was going. That's why I've been telling y'all that. You ain't got time to pay attention to that.
Yeah.
You're doing good to see the light.
So
the yellow.
Right. I've had people ask me, where is your tack? Well, my tack's down by my shifter, down by my side. Like you can't see it. That and my voltmeter's down there. The only thing that's in front of me is my oil pressure and my temperature.
Yep.
And two little gauge pods or whatever. And they're like, well, why don't you have your tack up here so you can see? I was like, I ain't pay no attention to that. Are you kidding me?
I took mine out. I ain't even got one. I took mine out.
The only thing I use it for is tuning.
I got so dig. I'm tired of asking that. I went and bought one. I just got tired of asking him about what's it turning. I don't know.
Yeah, you bought that little telltale one or whatever.
Yeah, hit the recall.
Right.
Bang,
I
bullshit.
don't know where it's at.
It's in the truck.
It's in the truck, he said.
The music.
Yeah, it's in the truck. It's just where I can't see it. So
heck yeah.
Gavin said his internet took a dump, so he had to get off. It cut him off. So
I got you.
Well, I got 4% on my phone, so if I lose you at any point, that's what happened to me.
Yeah.
You must be got it leaned up or go get something. Because I think you keep echoing back. Must be bouncing off.
Right.
But that's a good deal. So we got 2 weeks. We got coming to Matt's, the Grace in August, and then we got Blaine's, and then it's a little break in there, I think. Then it's Orangeburg at the end of the month. And
let's go back a second on our race. Let me just cover a couple of things on the August 5th deal. So gates open at 9 a.m. in the morning, and we start at 5. Drivers meeting at 4:30. Spectator admission is $20. Trackside is sold out. It's been sold out for a month. The reserve parking, which is right behind the trackside on the tower side, there's some of those still available. So you could go to the Thunder Alley page and find a link, and you could purchase those online, or you could purchase them the day of the event that Saturday. The trails will be open at 9. So if you want to ride those, it's $30 for motorcycles and 4-wheelers, and then it's normally $40 for side by sides, but and it's $40 as a driver and a rider. So $20 per person. It's the same money. Getting in for that. If you don't have a membership, because they require a membership to ride trails, it's $10 for a membership for a day, or it's $30 for the year. So I said it wrong in our video the other day, Dave. The $30 ends at the end of the year. The end of this physical year, December 31st. So basically, you go out there 3 times. If you go out there 3 times, you're paying $10 each time anyway, right?
Yeah.
So, and then you can go out, pay your $30 and you go out there anytime you want to. So when they're open, of course. But that's how that works.
A ton of trails, right?
Huh?
You got a ton of trails out there, like miles of trails.
Yeah, there's a bunch of side-by-side trails. Then they got these little hair scramble trails, like Rhett, through for the narrow stuff for the
4-wheeler and dirt bike.
For dirt bike stuff. So there's a ton of those out there. There's some mud. There's a little retention pond that you can go mud riding in with your 4-wheeler, your side-by-side. We got the okay for that a couple weeks ago. I dug about 100-foot pit. That's about 10 foot wide. It's got some water in it. Just, we're eventually going to end up making a side-by-side obstacle course back in one of those corners out there in one of those fields. That's kind of the first little pit that we've kind of made a couple weeks ago, and we had that little side-by-side event. So, but that's kind of
that's something good to tap into. I've seen the side-by-side.
Right.
Getting more people involved in the sport, Yep. They get out there and race, and then they see our trucks, and they're like, "Oh man, yeah, I belong racing with these guys."
Right. And is
the only style of racing you can get involved with that still has a payment book.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some nice ones too. Some nice payment books.
Yes. Much as a damn car.
Or more.
Yeah, more than what I drive, I can tell you that.
Right. So then also we got camping spots, and I've had a bunch of people reach out to me about camping the Friday night before the race, like a lot of the other we do at the other tracks or whatever.
Yeah.
We're just not ready to have spectators come in on Friday nights yet because of just some logistics at the front gate and what time people come in and having the employees there, Because some guys will want to show up at 2:00 in the afternoon, and then some people want to wait till 8 or 9 or 10 o'clock to show up. So there's no staffing at the gate for that. But as far as a driver, if they're coming from way off and bringing a camper and that kind of stuff, I can handle that because I'm going to be at the park, So I take care of that side of it, but the spectator side of it, we're just not there yet. So
drivers contact Matt, right?
What's that?
If drivers are coming in earlier, contact you. Get a hold of that.
Correct.
Take
And
care.
if the employees or the staffing is there at the gate, we can take care of that then. But if not, then we'll take care of it in the morning, you know. So I make sure to make my rounds and get all that taken care of. So
Yep. Well, hey, my phone is at 1%, but thank you and Dave very much for coming on with us. And
we greatly appreciate it. Thank you for the invite. So
we'll have you
One
back.
quick thing.
Well,
Y'all
BT,
keep this
BT
thing going. I promise you, man, it's awesome.
yeah, it's cool.
Please, y'all keep this thing going.
I mean, we're trying to get like what's the bald headed fella that does the podcast all the time? The MMA fella. God dog it. I can't think of his name.
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan, yeah.
Oh, Joe Rogan.
I mean,
yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, that's what we're shooting for. That's what we're shooting for.
Right.
Oh,
But
okay.
So we greatly appreciate it, and I'm with Dave, man. Y'all keep doing what you're doing. I think it's really cool too.
We thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
The help. I mean, they went red. He gone.
Appreciate
He
you,
gone.
everybody.
But yeah, hey, like I said, we thank y'all. Appreciate it for everything for the racing and all. And
Yeah, man.
August the 5th at the alley. I want to say
At the alley.
At the alley,
sir.
Thunder Alley.
That's
We'll
right.
be getting it.
Yeah.
They say gates open at 9 and racing starts at what time you said, Matt?
5 o'clock.
Racing starts at 5. Yeah, afternoon race.
Yeah.
Horseshoe
Driving
racing,
meeting
right?
at 4:30.
Horseshoe for us DOT trucks. The other trucks is
Yep.
running. I don't know.
Yeah, 1 tons and megas will run a horseshoe with some hills and some jumps 2 at a time.
Side by side horseshoe.
Yeah.
Damn, that's pretty good. DOT ain't gonna run that. They can't run that already. They gotta run the whole track.
Not unless they want to hit some jumps.
No, I'm good.
I'm down, but I don't know if they are.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But hey, man, like I said, thank y'all. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll come back. We want to thank all y'all for watching. We'll be back next week, same time, between the pits, 7 o'clock. We'll see.